talked about it a lot and have been concerned all year long. Well, I shouldn't say all year long. It's only like the 3rd of May of whether or not I'm going to have honey for the upcoming market on the 11th. And guess what? I do. I said I needed 60 pounds. I've got 60 pounds on the hives for sure. When I checked the other day, I'm looking at somewhere probably by the 2nd week of May, I should be around 270 pounds, which will put me a little bit ahead. So I'm on track for my 1,500 pounds that I want this year, but that might be a little ambitious. 1,000 will do me. We're not going to get greedy. But today I want to talk real quick about how I start the whole process of extracting honey. And the way you have to do that is you have to take honey supers off the hive, right? There's no way to extract it on the hive. Flow hives, but that's a whole other topic that I'm not going to get into. But I need to be able to get the bees out of the honey super, unpainted, but honey super. And there's 2 ways to do that. One way is what's called a fume board. Now, a fume board is this. It's got a black tin top on it, and it has felt on the inside. What you do is you put this on top of the honey super after you spread, usually Bee Quick is one way to do it. It's a sweet almond oil, and the bees just don't like the smell. You put these on top. It's got to be a sunny day. This heats up the fumes. The fumes permeate, and the bees get out of the honey super. I've used these, used them extensively, had good luck with them. But if you just need to get them out of the supers fast, this is a way to do it. The commercial guys are all using these because they're putting them on down one end of the line and going down the line, putting them on, and then going back to the beginning, and then it's done and they're ready to pull those supers off. Leaves a lot of bees sometimes, so it's one of the negatives, but it does get them out pretty quick. And the other way, there's multiple ways, but the other way that I use is what's called a bee escape. This is a bee escape, and it is exactly what it says. You put this on top of the honey super, hole on it goes up, and the bees are in a honey super above it, and then eventually they're going to need to go back down into the hive. So when they go back down into the hive, they go through this screen area, and this screen area is basically, it's a maze that they have to work their way out of, and they do it pretty adeptly, and it doesn't really bother them that much. But and I've made all these, and it was pretty inexpensive and pretty easy and actually kind of fun. But they will go through this bee escape, and they can get out, but they can't figure out how to get back in. So how does it work? Again, it's really simple. You go out to your bee yard, you pull the super off, you set it aside, you put the bee escape on, hole up, you put the honey super back on, you put the hive together, and you walk away. It's that simple. You leave it on then for 24 up to 48 hours. I found 24 is about perfect. And in 24 hours, you come back, you pull them off, and there are very few, if any, bees that are left. You load up the super, and away you go. It really is a simple thing. The thing I like about it is it doesn't impact the bees with the chemicals. I pardon the barking dog. So we're going to put these on. We're going to come back in 24 hours, and I'm going to show you how that works. So let's go out to the farm and make this happen. It really is a nice day out here today. I'm feeling like, whoa. So I love this field and the clover in it. The bees are really into it, and the staff is kind of leaving it here. Pardon the jumping around, the bumping, but I'm just looking out over the field right now, and just the number of bees I see bopping around are pretty cool. So, okay, we are going to take the honey off of this first hive here. That's the bottom box. I've got 2 boxes on. one with the blue tape on it has an awful lot of honey in it. They're in the process of capping it, but not quite ready. The one on top I think I just put on a few days ago, but they're going like crazy. And boy, this is the results of the swarms over the last couple of weeks. The brown hive there, the natural wood, is a propola. I've talked about that in another video. And then that's got a swarm in it. And as you can see by the front, that's doing crazy. And then down in the middle, there's another one. So let's get on with doing this, because I've got to get the other ones on and move on today. Got lots to do. So again, this can't get any easier. We're just gonna pop these off, pop these on, and we're gonna be out of here. Bada boom, bada bing. As I said, I've got lots and lots and lots to do, and a couple of obnoxious bees buzzing me. So I should mention, I don't use smoke when I do this. You'll hope that the bees aren't crazy and pissy. You know, it can happen, but I just feel like I don't want there to be any issue with smoke. Number one, getting into the honey, that's a rarity. But I think the more that you irritate the bees, the more it slows them down. Smoke isn't really necessary. We'll see. It could be famous last words when I take these boxes off of here and see if they go ballistic. Boy, they've been going to town on this one. They're building out over here. Those were new frames. Okay. Now we're going to move this box off. This one is crazy heavy, and it's full of bees, and I'm seeing them capping. I'm gonna pull this off. There we go. A few feisties, but oh my God, that's heavy. I'm gonna check that. And I did bring a second bee escape with me in case I need it. This is the hive that is chock full of capped honey. This is not the hive. This is the super. Well, that didn't make them happy, but we're gonna live with that. We're gonna move this one off. I'm gonna put it temporarily over here. We're gonna take this hive body, we're gonna put that on, because they're busy capping that. Then we're going to put this one back on. Get everybody in place. Okay, that's kind of getting heavy, and I just put that on. Then we take the inner cover off. Okay, the bee escape goes on. Then the super goes back on the hive, which is very heavy. Very heavy. I said I needed 30 pounds. This is probably weighing out more like 40. That's pretty exciting. And yeah, I know it seems like a lot of pissed off bees. It's not as bad as it looks or sounds. Lots of bees on my microphone. I'm sure you can hear that. We're gonna put this inner cover back on with the notch up. Then I'm gonna put the top back on, but first I'm going to seal this off. And the reason I'm sealing it off is I don't want bees coming and going from here and going back into the top, because then that's just going to cause havoc for me. So I'm going to put that back on, and I'm going to push it to the front so the bees can't use that. So then there you have it. I'm going to straighten this out a little bit. For whatever reason, it's not exactly where I want it, but I think it'll do what we need it to. And I think then we're good to go. We're gonna clean up some of the carnage. I know it seems bad, but there's just no way around it. And they are gonna do their thing. I'm excited to come back here tomorrow. This is a crazy, crazy heavy super, so I'm excited about that. And you can see down here, it's like they are a little bit irritated coming in and out, but look at the busyness. I am really tickled. And look how busy these two guys are very established. This super is really close, and I'm going to pull that probably next week for the market. So we're on our way. I'm going to let these girls calm down. We're going to head back. Got one more to put on over at the house, and we'll see how that goes. Well, I realized that I had a camera error out at the farm, and it might have been difficult to see exactly how I was putting escape boards on. Not that big a deal, but I am going to just toss one on back here at the house real quick, so that if it wasn't clear on my GoPro, because it's pretty close to the action there, that it just gets you a better idea of how that is all happening. So we're going to be taking the honey off of that tall one right there, in the first row. Actually, every hive that you see out here that's got 2 supers on it, the super underneath is really ready to go, but I just wanted to give it a little bit more time, and mostly I'm just running out of time. So I'll be pulling 60 plus pounds of honey tomorrow, and should be in pretty good shape when we do that. So the process is really pretty simple. I'll take this super off, I'll set it aside. I'll take this super off, I'll set it aside. We bring this super back, we put it on the bottom, we put our escape board on, thusly, and then we put the honey super that we want the bees out of, which is this one, back on top. Close off the top, be done with it. So that's the objective. Let's get that going and make it happen pretty quickly here. Hopefully I don't have the angst that we had at the farm. The bees were a little bit cranky, to say the least. Okay, lots of bees here. I will leave the inner cover on this. This is glued down tight. Lots and lots of propolis. So off it comes. It is heavy, 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 heavy. Just off camera there a second ago, I checked, and it's about 70% capped. So we'll be using this next week. Oh, it's heavy. We're going to set this super on top of this hive and get moving pretty quick, because they're a little feisty, a little unhappy, but it's just the way it's going to go. A little bit of a struggle because I've got a queen excluder on this one. And, you know, and I do have to admit, you know, I talk about there being a lot of advantages to this. There's one disadvantage, and that's the fact that you have to lift the supers a couple times. And they're heavy, I'm not going to kid you. But again, I think for the benefit of the bees, and to not have to deal with the chemicals and the disruption of that, I just think it's worth it. Again, so not complex. Hole goes up, escape slides on, bees instantly settle down. I wrestle this one back up on top. I grunt very happily, knowing that that's a lot of honey that will be in people's homes in the next week, and I'll be a happy camper. And wow, that makes it all worth it. So again, I'm gonna see if I can get less bees. I'm gonna shake these guys down to the front so I have even less bees to have to worry about. And I'm hoping I have some tape out here someplace. I do. Always handy to have. I will tape off this entrance so it can't be used as an entrance. It's not really an entrance, but they use it as one. I put the cap back on the top. I push that forward to eliminate even more. I put the rock on, and that's it. So there you go. Again, a little heavy lifting. It's kind of high lifting because I think if you remember a previous video, we talked about how I put double screens on and I'd done splits with these hives. And this box was originally on top of this box, and the bees are coming and going from the back. Well, I didn't want them to, just bees are creatures of habit. I didn't want to create a mess, so I sort of experimented. So this is an empty deep, this is an empty super, and I need to actually take these out because these bees will figure that all out. But I'm going to wait until I pull this super off and I can get some help from a friend to lift this box, because right now I know it's weighing about 80 pounds, maybe 100 pounds, and I don't want to risk dropping it. So I'll have a buddy come over and we'll take care of it and get them back to normal. I got the same thing over on this side. It's just a deep, but hey, we're on our way.